sanibona siyaqhubeka nge-physical science. Le section engiyenzayo iku-paper 1 and i-section it's a short section yaphuma nje njalo nje ekupheleni konyaka, so asingayithathi kancane. It's very important. Sibiza sithi it's photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect. So now, uma sibona la the word photo, it involves light. Misikhuluma nge-photo, we talk of light. Siyathanda ke noma uyothatha isithombe uthatha ifoto kuba naleyo light ikhanya ithi qhaba. Uyabona ifoto leyo. Photosynthesis, life science. Photosynthesis, which means light, it's iyahlanganiswa nge-light kuhlanganiswa amanye mhlawumbe carbon dioxide namanzi ukwakha ama carbohydrates. So that is photosynthesis, which means photo light is used to bring together, to synthesize. Ayanga ngeni kakhulu ngiyezwa sengena usinga lokukhuluma nge-life science kanti angikho lapho. Photo, it means light. Then electric, sikhuluma ngani? Sikhuluma nge-flow of charge. Flow of charge. Flow of charge. So uma kuflowa i-charge sibiza sithi yini leyo na? Current. The rate at which the charge flows. We think of current. We think of the section on electricity. Electricity, there are so many things which means a light can create a flow of charge. A light can create electricity. So a light, if a light it create electricity, it create a flow of charge. Ikona lento ogwe characteristic ye light. Now before says a characteristic ye light, sipeka manje electricity. Iyenzeka kuphi ku-electricity, i-flow of charge. Iyenzeka kuwona wonke ama-elements that can conduct electricity. I-flow of charge iyenzeka kulama elements that can conduct electricity. These we call metals. Metals. So grade 10 besenza nama characteristics of a metal. It's shiny, they are shiny, and they can conduct electricity. Mawubheka laphana kwi periodic table ihlukanisiwe nalaphana phakathi laphana bakhona bakhombisa khona ukuthi these are metal, these are non-metal. Now ama metal can conduct electricity. Ngamanye amazwi i-photo, when you shine light, when you shine light kuma metals, electricity can be conducted. Now ama metals, maningi, kungaba uzinki, kungaba aluminium, kungaba copper, njalo njalo. These are metals. Potassium, it's a metal nayo. These are metals. Now all these metals, when you shine a light in one of these metals or all of them, something will happen. An electric flow of charge will take place. Now yini lento edala ukuthi ama metals aconduct ugesi kalula ukudlula ama non-metals. Ama non-metals ukhuni al-conduct gas. I-rubber i-conduct gas. But now these metals, yini edala ukuthi i-conduct ama lento. We know from metals we've got protons that are fixed. protons that are fixed, depending on the type of metal esithila nayo. Siyazi ukuthi ama-protons asitshela ama-number of protons, usuke wazi ukuthi leyo metal inama-protons amangaki. Leyo metal siyibona ngani? Nge-atomic number. I-atomic number isitshela ukuthi kunama-protons amangaki. So kodwa ke ama-metals bese aba nama-electrons. Ama-electrons that are, yebo ikhona i-force ebambile phakathi kwama-protons and electrons. But these electrons are, they say they are delocalized. Into delocalized, into ngeke uyithole endaweni eyodwa. Uthi ila seyilaphana, ithi ilaphana, is delocalized. So ngamanye amazwi okwenza ukuthi uma kucreateka, uma ethola i-energy ayakwazi ukuthi ahambe. Ukuhamba kwalawo ma-electrons, then we say kuflowa i-charge. So ihanjiswa yini ama-electrons? Ahanjiswa yini ama-electrons? Uyazi ukuthi nami ngingahamba nje ngoba ngithola i-energy. Ngiyahamba nje, ngihambe ngoba nginani na? Ngine-energy. Le energy engihambisayo enginayo ngenxa yokuhamba kwami sibiza sithi yini? Kinetic energy. Teacher sicela uyisho ngesingisi. The energy that I possess due to motion is called kinetic energy. So now lama electrons, these delocalized electrons, free moving electrons, yebo abambekile, kukhona ama-forces akhona phakathi kwama-protons nama-electrons. Lawo ma-forces sibiza sithi sesiyenzile leyo section electrostatic force. There are electrostatic force between protons and electrons, but these electrons leyo force ayikho that great ngoba some of them can move freely. Hence we call them delocalized electrons. Now zithola phela energy now. Uma ubheka i-light ngokuhamba kwayo ihamba in a form of a wave. Ihamba kanje njenge-wave. This is how the light travels. As you know ukuthi one complete wave ukusuka la ubuya la ibuyele bese ibuyela la. This is a complete wave. I-wave yokuqala nansi yesibili ubuyela futhi laphana yesibili, nansi yesithathu, njalo njalo. So ukuhamba kwe-light ihamba in a form of a wave. Now kusho ukuthi uma ihamba in a form of a wave kumele njengoba ihamba i-light kusho ukuthi ine-energy. Kodwa ke i-energy yakhona uyibona kanjani na? Uma ikwazi ukuthi ekuhambeni kwayo, uma isheshe ihamba, ake ngithi buka le, kukhona lezo hamba yithi, yabona kukhona lezo hamba yithi. Nibonile ke ukuthi ngiyakhe ngokungafani. La ngithatha isikhathi ngiyenze ngokukhululeka, I use less energy to produce lana ngithe ngithi ngishona isandla sami saqala manje sabuza ubuhlungu, which means I use more energy. Lana greater energy. So now what is the factor lana esikhuluma ngayo na? Njengoba ngiphinda lento engiyenzayo, ngiphinda hawu badwethu, ngiphinda ngesingisi we say we frequent. Mawuphinda into uyafrequenta. Bakhona abaphinda nje ngaleso sikhathi ubona ukuthi lo muntu udle iphilisi mhlambe lokuqinisa, ubona kaningi, umbona kakhulu uphinda aye endlini encane, kusho ukuthi uyayifrequenta i-toilet. so uphinda lapha uya lapha, kukhona oya etoilet mhlambe after a day, kukhona oya ngosuku nje mhlambe uya kayi6. So ifrequency yakhe, ayi bakwethu naso singisi, ifrequency yakhe to i-toilet is high ngoba uphinda kuleyo ndawo kaningi. So lana ngisuka la ngiphinda ngenza kanje, uyabona kungithatha isikhathi eside ukuze ngifike la kuyashesha la. Uma kushesha which means i-frequency yala it's higher than i-frequency yala. Ukuphinda kwami kwala kungaphezulu kwalokho. Lana ngiphinda kakhulu. Now i-wave ephinda kakhulu kusho ukuthi ne-energy enkulu. Oh, i-energy ye-wave, i-energy ye-light, phela sikhuluma i-light in the form of a wave. I-energy ye-light incike ekutheni, i-frequency ye-light incike ekutheni i-energy ye-light ingakanani. Uma i-energy ye-light is high, ubona ngathi ne-high energy, ukuphinda kwayo uma iza lapho in the form of a wave kuba high, shothi phinda kaningi. Nawe uyabona nje mengithi nje hey kuba buhlungu nala ngoba phela I use a lot of energy, kodwa mengizothi awusuka ngisho nengane encane efunda i-crash ingakwenza lokho, kodwa mongathi awuthi hayi kunzima kakhulu, kumele ube ne-energy enkulu. So ngamanye amazwi into ebalulekile la before kuzokwenzeka i-electric effect, kumele si-analyze, siyibuke i-light ukuthi yini kanye le esemqoka, the one that is important, esemqoka leyo nto engasakhela i-charge, engasakhela i-current, the flow of charge. Siyathola ukuthi yini na i-energy of the light. Now we say the energy of a light is directly proportional to the frequency of light. Why ngisho njalo? Ngithe uma ukuphinda, if the frequency is high, then the energy of a light is also high. That is why we say the two are directly proportional. So if the energy is high, then the frequency of the light is also high. Now, i-light bakwethu iyakhiwa yini? Bathe beyicubungula, alisale sengiqedela le equation. Asale sengiqedela before ngihamba ngicubungula ngoba phela kumnandi uda ucubungula sibone ukuthi kuyinto enjani. Asibambe la okwamanje. Ngithi rewind, sibuyele emuva siye kwi Newton's law. Sithe uma une object ungayishintshi object at the same mass, constant mass, awushintshi lento uyipushayo. You exert a force the object, then this object will accelerate to the direction of the applied force. Upusha le, iyo accelerate la upushela khona. So kodwa ke uma uya upusha kakhulu unyusa umfutho, bakwethu unyusa umfutho, pusha kakhulu. Ngiyasaba nami ukuthi nginyusa umfutho ngithi ngiyale kanti akunama break ngiyoze ngishayisa udonga bese niyangihleka bese anisayibuki lento engifundisayo nina senibona ijoke nje kulento lena. Hayi, uma ngipusha kakhulu the same object, i-acceleration izo-accelerate kakhulu, izo-accelerator. Abantu u-A bayawunqena bathi sanarate, hawu soku-word seme sokufaka nosana, sanarator, cha, accelerator, izo-accelerator kakhulu. Uma upusha kancane, izo-accelerator kancane. Lobudlelwane phakathi kwe-force ne-acceleration, ngesingisi, the relationship between force and acceleration, ukwazi phela ukubona uma upusha i-object ongashintshi mass yakhona, which means at a constant mass you can be able to determine the relationship between force and acceleration. So la upusha same object, upusha kakhulu ihamba kakhulu, upusha kancane ihamba kancane. Now uma sesizoyibhala ke ngokwe relationship, we say force is directly proportional to acceleration, because when force is increased, acceleration is also increased. Sibona nalaphana kwi Newton's law, Newton's second law, right? But now sisusa le direct proportion sifaka nina equal constant. So force yini le a constant na, mass equals to m times a. So we have that. Each time when you remove a direct proportion, then ufaka equal constant. Ake sisukele direct proportion, sizofaka equal constant. Now umuntu owaqala yonke le photoelectric effect, enye insizwa isibongo sakhe Planck. Now ngokumhlonipha ke naye kwaba ne constant yakhe ayitholayo, abayibiza bathi Planck constant, which is h. Lo h lona, small letter h, stands for Planck constant. So we say E is equals to hf. Okukhombisayo ukuthi at constant this, then force and not force, frequency ayisengiyala lapha ko force bakuthi ngizomxolela small letter f lo, frequency and the energy of light are directly proportional. Now let's analyze light as Planck did. Planck wa analyze i-light kanjani na, wathola ukuthi i-light iyakhiwa ama-packets amancane. There's little pockets that constitute light. So the ama-packets amancane, lawo ma-packets amancane agijima ngesivinini esingakazi sibone ezweni. I-light nje yabona njengoba ngicima la, njengoba ngicima la, ake ngicime kuqala, sengicinile yakhanyisa, buka nje ukuthi la nje ngikhanyisa nje i-light seyigijime seyigcwele yonke indawo. Wathi uMuhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers in the world, wathi ngendlela afast ngayo ngalenkathi elala mecima i-light, ngalesikhathi kuba mnyama, once kwaqala kwaba mnyama usuke sengene engutsheni esezela ekhuluma ngobufast bakhe Muhammad Ali. So ke i-light it's so fast, i-light igijima ngespeed esingakanani na, esithi velocity ekuyi 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Kodwa ngenxa ngibhala kanje ngisaqala, this is the speed of light, 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Wathola i-light ihamba ngespeed esinjalo uPlanck. Now njengoba ihamba nge 3 times 10 to the power 8, ngoba i-velocity efanayo, awukho la ishintsha khona, awukho la ubona khona ukuthi uyakhanyisa umonti light ithatha isikhathi sayo, hawu yala kwathi bha emva kwesikhashana esithize. Ngoba i-constant, ukuze singadideki base beyinikeza le symbol le u-c, which is 3 times 10 to the power 8. Siyazi ukuthi lo c omncane umelene the velocity of light, le eyathola uPlanck, velocity of light. Now i-light ihamba ngespeed esingaka, ngicela ukuyiqaqa lento ngikukhombisa ukuthi ingakanani leso speed, ngoba ngiyazi manje aniboni. 3 3 times 10 to the power 8 u3 nabo 0 aba u8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 meters ihamba 300 million meters 300 ngiyathemba ukuthi angikho eParliament yase South Africa nguthisha mina yayazi lento engikhuluma ngayo hayi Parliament hayi ama numbers amaningi lapha singawaqondi kahle 300 lo o 0 about 6 phela ngingafuna ukuthi 0 about 6 ngithi million 300 million meters in 1 second ngesecond elilodwa ilight isuke ihambe isivinini esingaka 300 million meters in 1 second. That is the speed of light. So ke mawubona le lento ungayithathi kancane ilight ihamba ngale speed ithi ihamba ngaleso speed yini le ehamba ngaleso speed yilama phakeshana amancane those little pockets amaphakeshana amancane abizwa kuthiwa yini ama photons. Now usually bawakhombisa kanje ama photons these photons of light ziyagijima bakwethu gijima ngale speed esingaka and zihamba in a form of a wave, which means ama photons athi nge speed esikhulu manje lokhu asikhulumeni ke theoretical practically abakayi prove it to be right, but in theory but it's right. Ama photons of light athi go through the glass ngokanisa light nje ngaphandle ubona ingena through the glass athi go through the glass. These photons zihamba ngale speed esingaka. Now ngenxa yale speed esihamba ngayo iglass aliphuki ngoba idlula ngespeed esikhulu doesn't break the glass ngenxa yespeed sakhona. Sengikhumbula Newton's first law, but an object will remain at rest not unless it's acted upon by an external unbalanced force. It will remain. No, now inertia buka ke la mangenza into very fast mhlawumbe angisebenzise la asibheke i-calculator asithembe ukuthi izosilena uma ngiyidonsa slow iyahamba i-calculator kodwa mina yabona ngidonsa nje fast iyasala ngoba ngizumile. Ngizosho njalo ngizumile isala la ngoba ngidlule ngidonse nento inganakile. Angisho ukuthi yanaka phela inama feelings cha. I-light idlula laphana through the glass ngespeed ama photons adlula laphana through the glass nespeed esingaka. So kuzumeka iglass alisakwazi nokuphuka theoretically, but uma umuntu engahamba ngespeed esingaka, uma umuntu wena ungahamba ngespeed esingaka 300 million meters per second, you can go through a glass without breaking the glass. Ayikabi proved that lento kodwa theoretically it's there. Kodwa ngeyiphathi phela ngale nkathi ugijima ngespeed esingaka. Ake ngithi nje ugijima ngespeed esingaka, kukhona leya air friction ozohlangabezana nayo mawugijima. Uyobona nje memoto igijima nje ubona ukuthi uzuvaliwe ugijima ke ngespeed esingaka, kusho ukuthi ungadabuka nje nezinyama, dabuka izinyama. Hayi impela angazi ukuthi uzothi go through the glass izinyama isakhona yini, angazi. Kodwa ke ngiphendula lembuzo yokuthi why light goes through the glass, why these photons zithi go through the glass without breaking the glass, because they move at a very high speed. The speed is 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Now ake sibuyele kulesi story sethu, kule discovery eyenziwe uPlanck wathola ukuthi how uma i-light Let's say, for example, we have zinc metal. Zinc metal. Bese kuza i-light izokhanyisa la. Light, a certain light, so energy of photon. That is the energy of light. Izo uthi ikhanyisa through zinc metal. Kuzokwenzekani na? I-zinc metal nayo ine-energy yayo le ebambe ama-electrons. I-zinc metal ine-energy yayo le ebambe ama-electrons. Lama electrons abanjwe yini na? Sengishilo ngathi ilama protons akhona laphana. Now kukhona lama force ebambe lama electrons. Now leyo force ebambe lama electrons phakathi ko proton nelento nama electrons, leyo force leyo, uma i-energy ye-light idlula i-energy le ebambe ngayo ama-electrons, if the energy of light is more than i-energy le i-zinc metal ebambe ama-electrons ngayo, ayodedeleka ama-electrons. Ngoba kuzokwenzekani? Ake ngithi ngabomu, i-energy of light is 20 joules. This is the amount of energy i-light enayo. Nginikeze example bakwethu. It's 20 joules. Now, uma itholakala ukuthi i-energy ela, let's say it's 19 joules. Which means what will happen? The energy of light izosebenzisa kulo ya 20 izosebenzisa u19. Ngoba phela kumele i-release u19 ukuze ikwazi ukwenza ukuthi ama-electrons adedeleke. Kumele i-release u19. Ngamanye amazwi, i-energy of lana sikhuluma nge-energy of light being greater than the energy of a source. Ngizoyiqala kanjalo bakwethu. Ngiyazi abantu bajahile. Hayi manje manje ukhuluma, manje uyathathela kude. Yebo ngithathela kude. Ukuze nalo kude lo ongakwazi ukufika ngithathele kuyena ngidlule kuyena. Yeah. Now sibiza le energy source le ebambe ama-electrons. Sibiza sithi it's a work function. Work function, which is signified by the symbol WO. Now, the energy of light, or we can say the energy of photons, because light is made out of photons. Ama photons mefika la avesene uma energy edlula i-work function, i-energy le ebanjwe ngayo ama-electrons. Uma efika la ama-photons akhipha ama-electrons, angene endaweni yama-electrons. Khiphi yani electrons yani, angazi sikhona yini leso sizulu. Akhipha ama-electrons. Okay, ngamanye amazwi afika ngalo ya 20 joules of energy. Athola ukuthi udinga u19 wena, ngoba phela ibambe ngo19, udinga u19 ukuze a-releaseke. Kulo ya 20 it will use 19, bese ke ama-electrons bese ayasuka. Bese sishaba yile section, hayi ukuthi yasishaya, bese siyabona ukuthi umuntu angabuza ukuthi loya 1 joule uyephi. 1 joule. Afika no-19 nano-20 i-light. Yasebenzisa u-19 to work against the work function, to release an electrons. Ayasuka ama-electrons aseyahamba phela. Hayi ahanjiswa yini? Kusho ukuthi kukhona leya energy ezisebenza leyanesele eku-1 joule. Aseyahamba manje ama-electrons, ayasuka, ayaphuma manje ama-electrons, ayahamba, aseba yini na? Aseba. Then we see a flow of charge. Ahamba nge-energy engakanani? 1 joule. Okusitshelayo ukuthi lo ya 20 joules of light, energy of light, usebenze kuphi na? Usebenze kwi-work function. How? Nani yahamba nge-energy esibiza sithi energy of motion, kinetic energy. This is only true if the energy of light exceeds, it's more than the work function. Then energy of light is more than the work function. So layer 20, light is in work function to remove an electron kusetshenziswa 19. Iyase isebenzisa loya 1 osele as kinetic energy. Yo. Hayi siyezwa maseko uyibeka ngaleyo ndlela. Now, ngamanye amazwi ama-photons afika la akhipha ama-electrons. Ama-photons afika la akhipha ama-electrons. Lama electrons asephuma or asehamba as a result of energy ezithole kwi-light. These are known as photoelectrons. Ama-electrons manje asesuswe ama-photons. Asuswe ama-photons endaweni yawo kwangena ama-photons. Ngiyayizwa leyo nto. Hey, khona lento esikhulumela ngayo. Ngiyayibona ukuthi i-photoelectric effect, it can even affect our skin. Ushaya i-light, khona amanye lights kuya ukuthi ane-frequency engakanani. Athi angangena through your skin, remove electrons. Bese uyaqala ukuthi hayi lena, hey idala i-cancer. Hey, be careful. Yabona isebenza phi lento? Lapha naka x-ray, ngiyeza lapho x-ray. Asixoxele nje mina sisayikhipha isizungu sashawa umoya. Moshawa umoya ke lo sushayayo la kwa science. Then we have the energy of light, which is the energy of light, which is HF. Sesithatela the frequency of light. But wait, nansi enye indaba nixoxela. We-light, we-wave. Yini into ebalulekile la? Is the speed of light. Nansi into ebalulekile. Nansi enye into ebalulekile, the frequency of light. Njengoba kade ngikhombisile. And also the wavelength. Nansi kusuka la kufika la, the length of the wave. Ngithe isuka la i-wave yokuqala la yithi. Buka ke the wavelength. Le esithi yini? I-lambda. Siyenzile ka grade 10 kwi-light. Buka ke if i-wavelength yala ingakanani? Inkulu. Asibone le wavelength le ngisanduku yakho. Buka i-frequency ingakanani? Iyashesha ukwakha ilength. So siyibiza sithi yini le i-wavelength yala. Ingakanani i-wavelength yala? Incane. I-wavelength uma iba ncane, i-frequency uma i-wavelength iba ncane, i-frequency iba more. Uma i-wavelength iba more, the frequency becomes less. Right. Now, ake size la. Sibuke la. How do we equate these two? Ake sibheke ama units frequency. Frequency sibheke in terms of a definition of frequency. Uma sithi frequency is 10 hertz. Ngibhala ngabo njengoba ngiyazi ukuthi bese uyenzile ka metric ka grade 10. Frequency is 10 hertz. Yini u10 hertz? U-hertz kukhona lensizwa abayihloniphayo le isibongo esu-hertz. Nawe phela funda ube nezinto oyidiscoveryo ka-science. Sike nje sibize ama-units ngesibongo sakho. 30 khumalo habe 40 mhlambe uyobucele kodwa ungafuni ukuthi bathi ucela kuthiwa 14 dosi ND awusukani madoda siyeza lapha 10 hertz isuke lapho lo 10 hertz now is 10 per second. Why per second? Yini le 10 le umeleni? These are lena light ehamba ngale ehamba nge frequency of 10 hertz, which means wave awu 10 akheka ngesecond elilodwa. Le light lena ihamba kanjena 10 times in 1 second. So the frequency, so mesisha ngesingisi kuthiwa these are the number of complete waves that are formed in 1 second. So frequency 10 per second, which means these are 10 complete waves that are formed in 1 second. If you have a frequency of 200 hertz, hey, say abona lena iyaka ama waves awu 200 ngesecond elilodwa. Lena iyaka ama waves awu 10. So ukuthi le ihamba ngespeed esikhulu. Speed ne frequency, speed of light hambisana ne frequency. They are directly proportional. So ngamanye amazwi 200 hertz, it's 200 per second. 200 per second. Ngiyaphi bakwethu? Uma sibheka la. Ngiya la. Yazi yamnandi iscience bakwethu. Yazi yamnandi iscience. Futhi moyithola nje kuseni usanda ukuvuka. Ungadli, awufunde nje kuqala before uwenza noma yini. Speed of light c yini na sikala in what? In meters per second. All right, in meters per second siyazi 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Now, which means speed of light yini le ekala in meters, le ekala in meters. Sibheka the wavelength lambda. Okay, ikala in what? In meters. That is the wavelength. Iyalizwa leli gama length, ubude, the wavelength. So endaweni ka meter ngifaka wavelength. I-wavelength yini le ekala in per second? Sengishilo ngathi yini? I-frequency. Bese ibhala kahle sithi C is F lambda. Sesiyibona ngale ndlela lenje. Kuyenzeka bakwethu sinikezwe isibalo kuthiwa energy of a photon, siyazi ukuthi it's HF. Sesisusa lapha. Kodwa ke unganikezwa i-frequency, unikeze i-speed, unikeze ne-lambda, but you calculate the energy of the frequency. The energy of light. Uyazi wena wenza frequency subject of the formula. Then say C. So we have this. We have F is C over lambda. So okuzosinikeza energy is what? Is Hc over lambda. Then you can use this equation. This is the energy of a photon. Sengiyabuya ke ngizala. Sesibuya laba kwethu. Ngitheni ekuqaleni? Ukuze ama-electrons ahambe, ukuze again kinetic energy, okokuqala kumele i-energy of light idlule i-work function, idlule le energy ama-electrons abanjwe ngayo ama-protons. So that energy of light must exceed the work function. Uma i-exceedile, uma idlulile, uma idlule i-work function, then ama-electrons will move. Ngoba manje, if the work function is greater than, or if the energy of a photon is greater than the work function, then what do we have? So that energy of a photon will be utilized here. We'll remove ama electrons, kusala ama photons, bese ama electrons ahambe ngale energy esele. Let me make your life very easy. Siya kwi-maths bakwethu. Siya kwi-maths. Siyaganga nje nge-maths. Kumnandi ukuganga ngani na? Nge-maths. If 9 is greater than 7, if 9 is greater than 7, ukuze kulingane ngapha nangapha, uzobheka ukuthi oh i-difference ka-9 na-7 na-2. So ukuze kubalance, phela mesikhuluma ngoku-equation, equal, kusho ukuthi kwangapha kulingana nangapha, kuyabhalansa. Ukuze kubhalanse, u-2 uzofaka la okuncane khona. Oh, uzofaka u-2 la. So uyoba nani na? 9, abuka sengibhala kanjani 9 is greater than 7 ngoba ngiyabhalansisa phela, ngi-add ngalena 7 plus 2. Okay, ngithe mina uma kinetic energy of a photon is greater than the work function. If energy of a photon is greater than the work function, says he has got once the energy of a photon is like work function, which means low energy of a photon any will be used by work function, but basically less alive, lay difference ezothi kinetic energy. If it's greater than the work function, so siyabhalansisa sizothi energy of a photon is equals to the work function plus kinetic energy. This is the energy if a work function is less than the energy of a photon. Teacher, what will happen to electrons if energy of a photon it's equal to the work function? If energy of a photon is equals to the work function, yebo ama photons azosusa ama electrons endaweni yawo, phela yaqina ama photons afike ngalesa speed 300 million meters per second, susa ama electrons. Kodwa ke phela manje mase susile ke ama electrons ayisekho le energy esele ezohamba ngayo, azovesene asuke nje, kodwa they will be found at the surface of a metal engahambi. Ama electrons azobe sesukile endaweni yawo. If energy of a photon is less than a work function, Leo light, Leo, it won't have any effect with photoelectric. There won't be any effect, but the energy of a photon is less than a work function. Right. Now, CLR. I guess light in terms of the frequency and the intensity. Amagama agamakhulu lawo. Frequency and intensity. We exam bayathanda ukuqinela ngalamagama amabili. I-light ene frequency engafani nenye. Sibonile ukuthi frequency is directly proportional to energy. So if frequency ye light ingafani nenye, which means the energy ayifani. If frequency determines the energy. Now ubona kanjani ukuthi le light i-energy yayo ayifani? Ngamehlo ethu uzoyishaya ngesizulu bese ngishaya ngesingisi. With our naked eye, ngamehlo ethu anqunu, with our naked eye sibona thina imbala. In every color of light, it tells you the difference in frequency. I-light green ayinayo i-energy njenge-light e-yellow. I-light emhlophe ayinayo i-energy njenge-light orange. So le mibala esiyibonayo, that is the frequency of light. Right. So imuphi manje umehluko lapho? If frequency of light, if frequency is different, which means the energy is different. Okungitshela ukuthi uma i-energy i-high, Cecilia, if the energy of a photon is high, then the kinetic energy of ziyophuma nge-energy enkulu. Ngoba phela the work function is constant. I-energy le ebambekile la, sengize ngasula. I-energy ebambekile la ku-zinc, le ye-zinc, ine-energy yayo constant. Ngithe ake sithi u-19. Uma iza ihamba i-light ihamba ngo-20, yosebenzisa leya 19 ukukhulula abafowethu ama-electrons, bese abafowethu bahamba nge-energy leyana esele-1 joule. Uma iqhamuka enye ne-frequency engaphezulu ithi 200, le 200 iyosebenzisa u-19 laphana, 19, bese abafowethu bahamba ngalesele. Sokusele into engakanani? 101. 101 kinetic energy. Ngamanye amazwi, when the frequency is high, the energy of a photon will be high, and this will affect the kinetic energy of the released electrons. Sengikhulumile ke nge-frequency. If frequency is the difference in energy, that's the frequency. Think of any light. As long as umbala wayo ingafani nenye, even the frequency is not the same. Right? What about intensity? Now, intensity, mesikhuluma nge-intensity, into intense, into eningi. Bawethu, intensity of light. Asibheke nje umbala owodwa. Same frequency, umbala owodwa. Siba no blue, sibe nani? Dark blue. Niyayizwa leyo? Siba no light yellow, sibe no dark yellow. Yabona yini into efanayo lapho? Frequency yellow, sinombala ofanayo. So the energy is the same. But the other one is more intense than the other one. It's dark yellow. Kusho ukuthi inama photons amaningi ahamba ngaleyo frequency. So the intensity of light ikuphi yona? Ikuma number of photons that are released. And uma photons amaningi, if the intensity of light is high, it means more photons afika la surface. Lama photons will release more electrons. The kinetic energy will not change, will still be the same. But the kinetic energy depends on the frequency. Yazi yamnandi lento. Angazi uyangizwa yini, yazi ngiyacabanga ukuthi uma umZulu ngempela ungizwa la, uyasina lapho khona. Uyasina impela ukholo, hayibo nansi lento wakwethu. Yabona uthi nje musengilalele la, uphumele ngaphandle nje, ukuhlabe nje kabili kathathu nje uhlabu ubuye. Hayi uzongizwa kangcono. Yahlatshwa la kudlalwa la. Ngithini la? If sine light yellow and dark yellow, ngoba ku yellow the frequency is the same. Ngoba ku yellow kuyokhipha ama electrons with the same kinetic energy, ngoba if frequency it's the same. If frequency is smaller than the energy of light, and leyo energy ngamehlo ethu anqunu sibona thina ini na umbala, sibona ngombala ukuthi oh the frequency is not this, is the same. Kodwa umehluko kuphi? Le dark yellow inama photons amaningi, le light yellow photons are less. Le light yellow izo-release ama-electrons are-less phela ngoba ama-photons iwona keep ama-electrons, njengoba less nama-electrons will be less that will be released. Kodwa their kinetic energy will still be the same. But what's the difference? Le dark yellow, high intensity, a lot of photons are there, then bese izo-keepa more electrons. So the intensity of light tells us, will help us get the number of electrons. The intensity of light affects the number of electrons that are released. High intensity, more electrons. High frequency, more kinetic energy of electrons, provided the energy of a photon is greater than the work function.